Hello. It's May 29th, 2025. I'm doing another video about this subject of marriage. It's a pattern in reality. We see Emmanuel Macron's wife pushing him in his face. This is kind of weird news. It's rare. It's rare to see these kind of things happening. And so when put it together with everything else here that happened lately, it is something that I can talk about, and there's a real thing going on. And it goes back to Sindor in India. Sindor is the marriage makeup of a Hindu married woman. It's a marriage thing going on. Okay? So in this case, what is happening? So what I would say is that in everything and everyone we are all vulnerable to the holism. It's like being vulnerable to the consistency, or being vulnerable to the unity. And in the same way that unity can be seen as something warm and beautiful, which I totally agree and I totally think, it's also something that anyone could as well fear, because it has to do with having both a sense of control, but also a sense of not being in control and being left um, vulnerable to the forces, the hidden forces of the collective psyche, collective narrative, the narrative, that the unseen narrative. And so what's happening is that everything has is in the state of what would I say, like if you think about computer software, it's a good way of thinking about this, that there is something in programming called that you override a function. And this is similar to what this is. We can be overridden by the spontaneity of coincidental patterns that surround us. And I would say that this is what's happening. There is a theme of the oneness, the unity playing out in the form of the wife wanting to follow the heat of the occasion. And so there is it is being overridden by passion itself. There is a passion, there is a conflict, there is a theme, simply a theme of marriage, maybe a theme of irritation, a theme, and it has to do with the red eye, right? The red eye of the bindi, or bindu, third eye, also connecting, which relates to India, where there's been this psychological thing going on in the mind of 500 million people, or maybe 1 billion people. Like if you think about the young population of India, it's most of the people. If you look at the population distribution, you see that, it's basically only young people there, almost. Okay, so what's happening is that we're being pulled with the storms of chaos, basically. We're being pulled along, and we're playing along, and we're enjoying that in the heat of what's happening. And no one is really absolutely in control. It's only an orchestra playing together, or a lot of, you could see it as a great painting, a masterpiece, where the greatest artists paint together, or the greatest poets, and the result is the world stage, and almost no one is seeing the whole picture. Something is, otherwise there wouldn't be like this. So yeah, and this is what a little extra video here about how I see things, what's happening. And bear in mind that I said a long time ago, this is a theme. There is this thing going on around about this. So yeah, a long time ago, before May 21st, right? I told you that there is something going on here, and now we see front page news after front page news. As I said, this is rare. It is rare to have this kind of news here that I'm showing. It's you could imagine that I'm cherry picking the news, but I would say no. There is an ongoing continuity of news having this theme, as you can see, for example, in this. What is the chance that they got an engagement ring just before the museum thing? What is the chance? Well, I told you beforehand, so that there is a theme, so of course I'm not surprised. But you should be, if you don't believe in what I'm saying, at least you should be surprised of the way that things coincidentally go together. You should at least be surprised about that. So yeah, that's all.